Good morning. What a way to start. My name is Kelly Doucette, and my hot take is that Indy has too many nonprofits. And I'm going to read this because I'm not that professional. Thank you so much. Indianapolis is a city full of heart. We see a need and then we respond. But somewhere along the way, we confused passion with position, and now we have too many nonprofits. Every week, someone's launching yet another organization with a name that sounds oddly familiar, with one that already exists, and you'll hear like, we're just like them, but like not, right? And so what is the difference? A logo, maybe a Canva flyer, shout out to Canva. And let's be honest, sometimes folks would rather start something new than strengthen what already exists. Not because the work is new, but because they don't want to share the shine. Being a founder has become the new personality trait, and collaboration, where is it? It is basically treated like a side salad or a side chick, whichever comes first. And so let's tell the whole truth, right? So people don't always start new orgs because they want the spotlight. Let's give those people credit. But a lot of times they try to pull up a seat to the table and the table is full. Some of our longstanding organizations have become exclusive clubs, and if you're not already on the guest list, good luck. So they build their own tables, they bring their own chairs, they bring their own utensils, they bring their own people, they bring the same idea. So now the block is crowded, and the money's tight. Every new nonprofit means we're slicing the pie into thinner and thinner pieces. Eventually nobody's full and our impact suffers. And the community, that's the question. They don't care whose logo is on the service, they just want results. And so imagine if we stopped working in silos and started building together. Imagine if we stopped asking who's in charge and started asking, how can I help? Collaboration isn't a soft skill, it's a power move. It expands funding, deepens trust, and multiplies impact. So Indy doesn't need more nonprofits. It needs more alignment, because when we put community over credit, we stop chasing titles and start chasing solutions. That's when the real magic happens. So, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. My name is Nikki, and my hot take is that we don't need another Cunningham restaurant. If there's any Cunningham folks in the audience, shout out. Love you all. And some of the Cunningham restaurants are some of my favorites. However, I think they've grown beyond this local indie gem and have lost some of the charm, expanding into, other cities up north or even other states I've seen. And it's no longer this local, thing that we know and love. I would be really interested in giving smaller restaurateurs, independent folks the opportunity to shine, because why do we go out to eat, right? It's the stories, it's the passion. At least that's why I do. And I love hearing, the work and the ground roots, support that a lot of these folks needed to get their business up and running. And I don't think you see that in obviously the bigger chains, things like that. And I think Cunningham is that's maybe we're headed towards that way a little bit. So I love supporting local whenever I can, and absolutely love the Cunningham folks. But I think we can keep it with the catalog that we have, and we don't need another one. So that is my hot take. Thank you all.
Good morning, everybody. This is my friend Riley.
This is my friend Scott, and we are here today to talk a little bit about the fact that Indianapolis is the sports capital of the world. We've got, there we go, Reggie, Tyrese, Tamika, Peyton, certainly Caitlin. We've got some of the most serious icons in the sports world, but the best thing that has ever happened to Indianapolis,
Our city's greatest civic achievement,
our true all-star, our MVP,
is the Indianapolis Cultural Trail, a legacy of Gene and Marilyn Glick. Thank you. Solid green. Thank you.
I mean, seriously, where else can you find a world-class 10-mile linear park that's ADA accessible, seamlessly connecting you to every major destination and vibrant downtown neighborhood?
That welcomes over 1 million people every year.
And we've got 600 trees lining this trail that help keep it cool all year round.
Yeah, those trees keep the sidewalk temperatures anywhere from 20 to 45 degrees cooler during those hot days.
And the trail also serves as a free outdoor gallery with over $4 million invested in public art.
Including everyone's favorite. You're welcome. You're welcome for that.
And you can easily tour the whole trail on a Pacers Bike Share e-bike without even breaking a sweat.
Especially if you're a Marion County resident. Can I see some hands if you're one of the 7,000 Indy Rides Free riders? Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
But perhaps one of our favorite things about this trail
is that it's also, this is what you all were expecting from me, it's that it's also the world's best drive-through coffee experience on the planet. Because there's no car needed. You can walk, bike, roll, or skate your way to dozens of local coffee shops all along the Cultural Trail. In a world fueled by these mega corporate coffee chains that have their weird, dysfunctional drive-throughs, Indy's trailside coffee scene is simply unmatched.
Speaking of mega corporate chains, sports teams have giant budgets, corporate budgets, but the Cultural Trail...
Nope. It was built by Indy, for Indy, and is maintained by a nonprofit, not the city. Thank you, Green. Thank you.
The Cultural Trail really helps build civic pride and enhance our connectivity, and ultimately, it makes a lot of other cities really jealous.
Thank you. So jealous that cities like Denver, Sacramento, Columbus, St. Louis, Cleveland, the entire country of Scotland, yes, that Scotland, have come here to study the Cultural Trail. And they have tried to recreate our special sauce. Thank you in the back. And guess what? Nobody has been able to recreate it like we have.
Honestly, though, thanks to a group of amazing trailblazers who believed that Indy could be better for everyone, the Cultural Trail is a story of people, not profits, shaping and connecting us to places that we all love. And that's why our hot take is...
The Cultural Trail is the best thing that's ever happened to the city and is our city's greatest civic achievement. Solid grade.
I want to talk about how Indianapolis, the city packing arenas in celebration of women's sports phenoms like Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston, sits at the heart of a state that is leading the charge to strip away women's control over their own bodies. You can't have it both ways. Thank you. You can't cheer for strong, skilled, confident women on the court while pushing policies that shame, silence, and endanger them off of it. If we say we value women, then we have to value all of who they are, not just their ability to drain threes in the fourth, but their rights to access birth control, comprehensive sex ed, full spectrum reproductive health care, and basic bodily autonomy. The cognitive dissonance required to say that Indy is on the precipice of being the epicenter of women's sports while stripping women's rights away every year at the State House is staggering. The idea that we can lead in training and drawing in providers of sports medicine while attacking healthcare providers just for doing their jobs shows a laughable disconnect from reality. Indiana wants the glory of women's sports headlines, but it is gutting the health infrastructure that allows women and girls to thrive in the first place. It's cutting off access to reproductive care while praising and benefiting from the power of female athletes, many of whom wouldn't have made it to the professional level without control over when or if they become parents. So here's the deal. You can't put women on pedestals and in cages at the same time. If we celebrate women for their strength, their brilliance, and their leadership, we have to fight for policies that protect their health and freedom. Anything less is hypocrisy in high definition. Now you know.
Okay, let's get into it. Hi, I'm Byron. I've dedicated a lot of my life to brand and brand design, and I got a lot of opinions about brands. And I'll be honest with you, when I first saw this, my first two thoughts were, ew. And the second thought is, everybody's gonna buy all of this shit, I already know it. trying to validate that it's good because they all bought it. But I have some notes here because I can ramble, so let me go ahead and hit these real quick. So first, I don't want to be too much of a hater. The colors are not that bad. I'm not a big fan of them. They're a little too childish, a little too playful, but I feel like, with that yellow and that blue in moderation, it could probably work. You know what I mean? I think my biggest beef, honestly, is the graffiti style. I think they're trying to go for something urban. They're trying to go for something hip. You know what I mean? and I think it was just designed by someone or maybe a committee of people who don't necessarily understand hip hop culture and what graffiti comes from and things of that nature. And I think the other problem I have with it is it doesn't commit enough. Like, I feel like it's just kind of playing around in the graffiti realm, especially, when we live in this city, we have a bunch of amazing graffiti artists who are doing amazing work. I got a buddy named Dan, Invisible Hometown, I think is his handle. He does amazing work. And, they could have hired him to do this, in my opinion. And the second part, the font, which, is dangerously close to Comic Sans. You know what I mean? It's really close to Comic Sans. I think it would have been nice if they, put a bit more intentionality in there, actually had someone put forth some effort in making some type of word mark or something like that. I feel like they just found a font, typed it out, doubled it over, and just threw it up there. And in general, just to come back to the whole graffiti thing, I feel like, it's graffiti-ish. It feels more like child art therapy and not necessarily, you know what I mean? That's it. That's all I got. I hate it.
Yeah, I did have something sort of prepared, and I am just going to completely change my topic right now. There's been a lot of green. Something I do believe in, Tyrese Halliburton is not that good. People do say he's overrated. I agree. He can't dribble and get around anybody. He disappears in big games. I think he's overrated. I think the Pacers are great. I'm sure he's awesome as a person, but Sampson knows I stand on this, and I've been saying it forever. I've said it all season. I stand up here with pride. It's good to see the red. He's a little overrated. Thank you.
All right, everybody, this means quite literally with the fact that everything shuts down at 9 p.m. All right? I host events. I'm a nighttime person. I'm a night owl, so waking up today was very hard. But this is what Indianapolis looks like after 9 p.m., all right? All right, my food options are Taco Bell and just breadsticks from a certain large sports bar. If we want to be a world-class city, we need to do stuff past 9 p.m. and make sure that it is lively and safe and cultural. If you see other cities, in Asia especially, this is what you're going to see at night. They're lively, they have lights, they have food, beverages, they have shopping, and also health and wellness. Anything you can do during the day, you can also do at night. Also, what's really nice is that these spaces are carless. They have designated Uber pickup spots, and is a great place for people to walk. So a lot of the times, nightlife is thought as, a liability, but we need to make sure that create policies and practices that make it an asset. Nightlife is culture, it's not chaos, so let's build it right. In other cities around the world, and then the U.S. is just now getting it, they have created a nightlife mayor position. It's not anything super official where they can do policies, but it's a position between local government and nightlife businesses. So they work with companies and businesses to create these spaces for nightlife to thrive. So we got to overcome the stigma that nightlife is bad and that only, degenerates are out late at night, wandering the streets at midnight, or the youths are out doing stuff at midnight. We need to reclaim the night, and Indianapolis deserves more than just a last call. Yeah. So if you'd like to be a part of this movement, this is my personal Instagram if you want to connect. And until nightlife gets better, I'm doing like day clubs and morning events. So that's the Instagram for Find Fun Indie.
Riley Scott, I love the cultural trail. It does not reach me in Garfield Park. Now, y'all, we often say Indianapolis is a world-class city, but I don't think that's true. I love Indianapolis. I love this place with my heart and soul, and we are a good city. Sometimes we're a great city, but we are definitely not a world-class city. The issue is our infrastructure, and I'm not talking about our streets, because we have that in miles and miles above the rest of the state. I'm talking about our civic infrastructure. I'm talking about the way that we get to and from communities within our city and how we get there safely. Now, I don't know a single person in this city who commutes or regularly travels by bike who hasn't been clipped at the very least by a car. In fact, in 2024, there were about 900 calls to 911 for injuries of pedestrians and cyclists with motor vehicles. In the last month, a child died. He was in a bike trailer on the back of his dad's bike. And they were just pedaling home at night. And he died. Guys, we can't be a world-class city if we can't protect our citizens. It's not safe for my kids to get from our neighborhood to the next community over on their stroller or on their own bike. That's not world-class. And until we invest in that infrastructure, we cannot be a world-class city. But there is hope. We can change it. So when we decide to change the way we invest, we have to invest our money, we have to invest our time, we have to invest our advocacy. We need to invest in the infrastructure for our citizens, for the people who live here, not just come and visit. And we need that infrastructure to reach no matter what zip code you are in this city. And when we do that, we will be a world-class city.
Now that IU football is good, you cannot be an IU fan and a Notre Dame fan at the same time. There should be more green up there. What is wrong with y'all? Okay. This is what I mean. When I was an IU student, everyone I knew was like, I'm an IU basketball fan and I'm a Notre Dame football fan. Because IU basketball was still good, decent. And then Notre Dame football, I guess, was good. I didn't really pay attention. So everyone was like double dipping. They were rooting for both teams. And I kind of thought it was bullshit at the time, but I kept my mouth shut because I'm not from Indiana originally. So here's the thing. Now that IU football has gotten good, thanks to Kirk Cincinnati, it is no longer, look at our record. So bad. So now that IU football has gotten good, it is no longer acceptable to root for both teams. It's bullshit. Just pick one, okay? It is not that hard. And I'm especially talking to the IU alumni in the audience. I know there's a lot of you, okay? I don't care that Notre Dame isn't in our conference. I don't care that your second cousin went to school in South Bend. I do not care that the only time you saw your grandpa cry was when you watched Rudy. And Rudy was not that great of a guy in real life, so, IU football is great right now, and they need all our support. Notre Dame is always going to have its fans for some reason, and most of them didn't even go to the school. Sports is about picking one team, supporting that team through whatever happens, okay? You can't have two teams. I don't want to, Shag, you're always picking like a bunch of teams to support one team, okay? It is not that hard. Thank you.
Keep them out of here, you know. Thank you guys all for being here. I'm Daniel. I'm with the Can. But Most Indianapolis men don't know how to dress. Okay. Ladies, I'm going to keep you out of this, and I knew this would not be a hot take, but I was put up to this. So Indianapolis is a sports town. Obviously, we've been talking a lot about sports, but athleisure is just killing fashion. And then business casual has just ruined all creativity. And we can't talk about the tech industry. Anyway, so sports, Rick Carlisle's all in our brain. So that last slide with, this is how Rick used to dress. Sorry, the slides are all screwed up. Sorry, the airplay. But Rick and NBA coaches in general have like been a big, you can just see the demise of men's fashion. Look at his personality. And granted, I'm not like a trad guy that needs everyone in a suit. I'm just saying personality. Then if we go to what he's wearing now, he looks like he's in pajamas. What happened? What happened? So, yes, I'm not asking for anyone in a suit. Just give me some personality. I want to walk down the street. I want to know a little bit about you. Clothing is storytelling. So please, let me know a little bit about you. It's not that hard to do it. Just give me something. And so, here, I'm not just going to critique you, but tips. Here. Play with layers. Layers work a lot. Everyone looks better in layers. Experiment with textures. Corduroy. Sprinkle in statement pieces. Get a good hat. Get some glasses. And then, lastly, own it. If you own it, you walk out of the house, feel good, okay? Feel good walking out of the house. And please, if you see someone in something you like, compliment them. Indianapolis, men, we can be better.
Hey guys, my name is Ronan, and I think that Mile Square is what makes the Circle City iconic. But the rest of our infrastructure is kind of a freaking joke. We've got the highways that demolish neighborhoods, sidewalks that are not anywhere near streets, weird-ass roundabouts, and they call us the Circle City because we have this tiny single circle in a huge square mile. My idea, we should just tile the mile square over and over again across the 368 square miles of our city. North towards Fall Creek, west across the White River, south past Garfield Park, east all the way to Cumberland, mile square after mile square after mile square over and over again. Now, it sounds silly. Anyone been to Savannah, Georgia? Okay, so you know they've got squares everywhere, parks, memorials, and these are like public gathering places, but they also are just tree-lined streets, flowers everywhere. You've got the like sidewalk cafes and bookstores. We used to have that in the Circle. It used to be where farmers markets were, the governor's mansion. But like when I was a kid, it was dead if it wasn't Christmas. There was nothing going on down there, and we're starting to rediscover it, but it's the only one we have. And I feel like every neighborhood deserves that. So I think we should just tear down all the other infrastructure we have and just go 368 mile squares. They'll really call us the Circle City because we'll just have a bunch of circles. It's going to be amazing.
For our last hot take, we had an anonymous submission that was so good, it was so prescient that it needs to be performed and delivered by none other than Mr. Canetti. Mark Williams, baby. Yes. We have a special delivery coming, like the Emmys or the Oscars or some shit. It's two-sided, it's handwritten, you know, but you're gonna rock it out. So, and this is it. This is the last one. All right, here we go.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Okay, just so you know, well, I have a question first. Who all seen the Leprechaun? Say yeah. Yeah. All right. I like to do that when I go places to see who's cool in the room. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the Leprechaun of Mobile, Alabama. You should look it up. I want the gold. Give me the gold. Okay, so I haven't seen this hot take, so I have no idea what it is. Yeah, so it's like Maury. I haven't seen the results. All right, so here we go. Oh, boy. Indianapolis needs to stop celebrating mediocrity. We treat every event, idea, company, organization like they are the greatest thing since sliced bread. This is Midwestern nicety bullshit. Sorry to the youth in the room. Louis, I know you know that word, though. If we are going to grow as a city, we have to be able to say when something is just average. Midwest niceties are holding us back, and it's not even real. We are being honest behind the scenes. We just don't have the courage to be critical out loud. To be great, we have to call mediocre. Oh, there's another side. Call mediocre shit mediocre. Let's raise our expectations. Let's learn to take feedback like adults. Indianapolis needs to stop celebrating mediocrity. Woo, it's real green in here. Oh, man. So you make sure you take that back to work with you today. I know a lot of y'all in here, y'all work in places where y'all can influence this. So I don't know how I feel about this, but I do think that we have some events that are mediocre. But the Zubilation thing up there, that was me that said that. Yeah, I dare somebody in here tell me what it's about. It's at the zoo, but tell me what it's about. It sells out the first day and nobody knows what it's about. It's a joke. Yeah, so when I look at this, I guess I'm just going to stop on the let's learn to take feedback like an adult. How many of you have heard of like the compliment sandwich or whatever at work? Okay, I'm getting ready to get loose for a second. Here's the problem with that. When people are doing things that need to be changed, we just need to tell them that. We don't have to be rude, but inviting people into your office and saying, hey, you're doing a great job at work, really love what you got going on, but there's this thing that's not that great, but hey, we really love you. Let's just not waste people's time and be like, hey, you're great, but that right there, not cool, we need to change that, instead of making people feel good before we tell them something needs to change. So that's my point about that. Other than that, I really want to know who wrote this, because I want to know what they're saying is mediocre. Man, this is a lot. So those of you that are able to affect change in this room, I hope that you take this with you and start to think about what is it that you're involved in. What do you have access to? What can you give access to, which is a very big difference. And how do you include people in discussions and situations? I think that takes away mediocrity, but the nicety stuff is true. You know, if something is whack, it's okay to say it's whack. Like, I think Zubilation is whack. I know the Rev Party happens. I also think that's whack. What else do I think is whack? I like Creative Mornings, but whoever said it's real white, when you stand here, it's real white. It is what it is. I don't know if I think Tyrese Halliburton is not that good, but I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, I get it. All right, yeah, so that's what I have. If anybody wants to say I'm mediocre, you can just DM me that. I'm willing to talk to you about it. It's fine. Plenty of people probably think the same thing. So anyway, thank you, Creative Mornings, for having me. I haven't been here since before COVID, so it's been really cool to be here. So thank you.